Hey guys, what's going on there? In this video today, we're going to be talking about derivatives versus gradients. And the idea behind this video is I want to kind of create that difference, explain that simple difference between derivatives and gradients, particularly for somebody that's interested in deep learning or machine learning, where you're going to be performing some kind of back propagation and all of that. So if you actually found this video very useful, I want you to kind of like this video, please do share and subscribe to this channel, as this actually really helps this channel grow. So other than that, we're just going to get started with this particular brief video. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to open my Microsoft board, where I'm going to be maybe just kind of making some kind of sketches that's really going to be very relevant and imperative. Now, we're going to be looking at derivatives, right? Derivatives and we're going to be looking at derivatives and gradients, okay? So this is actually one of the challenges a lot of people do have. You find out that they kind of don't know how to differentiate between derivatives and gradients. Now, one of the things I want you to understand is that derivatives, whenever we talk about derivatives, we're just trying to measure the rate of change, right? We just want to measure the rate of change, and just think about it. You're trying to measure the rate of change of a function, maybe it could be any function of f of x, and just with respect to one variable, okay? So if we're talking about derivative, what actually interests us is that we are trying to measure that change, particularly with respect to what? One variable. Now, for gradients, right, we're trying to measure the rate of change with respect to all variables simultaneously. So these are actually kind of many more variables. So you could have something like f of x, of y, of z, and n, right? So maybe probably that's where you're going to perform some kind of partial derivatives, and maybe when you differentiate x and you keep all of them as constant. But essentially, what we want to kind of understand here now is that the resultant here is usually a vector, okay? Whenever we perform, when we try to differentiate for our gradients. So what we're going to do right now is I'm just going to kind of give you some further illustrations of what we're talking about. But essentially, what I want you to understand is that derivatives is just kind of the rate of change of a function with respect to one variable. Anytime we talk about derivatives, we're talking about one variable, all right? Why? For gradient, it measures the rate of change with respect to several variables, just kind of all the variables simultaneously, and combines them into a vector, okay? All right, so as my style of teaching, I'm just going to let that actually sink in very well, and I'm just going to kind of write here, I'm going to say derivatives, and then I'm going to also write gradient, okay? And then let's kind of look at this from this axis. I'm going to say here is with one variable, and whereas here is it is used for many variables, okay? I'm going to just take it easy because it's actually a very important term. And then this is something that gives us, it kind of gives us the rate of change with respect to what? One variable. That's with respect to one var, okay? I'm going to use var, and this one gives us with respect to many var, okay? I'm going to spread that here as variable, okay? And then remember, I did just mention here that the resultant here is usually a vector, whereas here we're gonna have something like a number, or maybe even a function, okay? I'm just going to show you that, and I'm just going to shrink that slightly, and then just kind of raise it a bit. And then I think that's actually what we need to understand. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create a function now. Let's look at for derivatives. Okay, so let's say we have y is equals to x squared. All right. Now, ordinarily, you know that the rule here for the differentiation here is n x raised to the power n minus 1, right? Where we kind of subtract 1 from the power and then multiply that particular variable with what's the power. So that's going to be 2. So if you kind of do, what I'm trying to say here is you kind of do something like y, that if you want to differentiate y with respect to x, what is going to be now? This is going to be 2x 2 minus 1, and that's going to give you 2x. Okay, so essentially what this actually means here now is that what is in the interpretation of this particular function here is that, let's say for example now I'm going to say if x is equals to 5, right? So what it means that the the x is going to be what, 2 of 5, and that's going to be 10. So a lot of people actually usually get this confusing, and that's something I'm going to explain right now. So the idea here now is that if it means that what, if x is equals to 5, then it means that y is what, 10. So that means as x kind of increases, right, then we're going to say y is something that increases, right, 10 times faster. Okay, all right. Now that's actually that for derivatives. Very simple. You're differentiating one particular variable, right? So we're only calculating the rate of change of any particular variable that we're differentiating it with respect to only one variable. We could call this k and m. The problem we're differentiating k with respect to m, it could be dy, we're differentiating y with respect to x, right? So that is why whatever thing we get, the resultant is a derivative. Now this is actually something you're going to see, particularly if somebody that's coming from deep learning. We're going to be looking at maybe along the line when you're going to be getting into some kind of back propagation. And if you have, just think about it like, okay, you kind of have one linear unit, maybe one particular input input function or more, maybe input variable is passed into one neuron, and then that neuron is passed into that particular value. Maybe there's kind of a forward pass, right? Whenever you're trying to calculate the loss, right, you're differentiating the loss with respect to what? That weight that's added to that x. So what I'm trying to say now is, let's say for example, we have y is equals to wx. So in this case now, for us to get the loss now, we need to differentiate what? W with respect to what? Y. So more like to update the weight. Okay, so don't worry about this. I'm just going to explain for gradients, then we'll try to relate it with what deep learning or whatever. So here I'm going to be talking about the gradient, right, which is more like I did mention here. Let me just say multiple variables. All right, so we want to paint a picture of the differences now. So let's assume now, let me just suppose that I have something like let's say for example f of x of, okay, let me just write that properly. Let me say f of x, and then we'll have y, right? And then let me just say it's because it kind of contains two variables, x plus y squared. Now you see that this particular equation of, or whatever thing you want to call it kind of differs from the other one, because here now we are looking at two variables, right? X and y. It could be three, x, y, z, whatever then, right? But basically in this case now, the resultant derivative here is going to be a vector, okay? Because we're going to be getting the partial derivative of each particular variable with respect to the other, and then maybe keeping each one constant, simultaneous, depending on how we want to do it, whichever one we want to start with. So in this case here now, you're going to see that there are actually two directions which this function can actually change, because here for this function now, we're looking at the x direction and then also looking at the y direction. So more like maybe just think about it. Maybe you have some kind of a plane like this, and then we're looking at it with respect to the x, that's the x direction, or with respect to the y. Okay, so that's it. Now, what we are going to do now is, in order to get the derivative of this particular function here, essentially we would have to get the partial derivative of x with respect to y, and then with y with respect to x. And that's what we're going to do now, because here I'm going to say partial. I'm just going to write that well. I just want to be sure that's kind of properly written. And here I'm going to say the partial derivative. Let me just kind of spell, don't mind my writing. So the partial derivative here, let's say with respect to x. Now, what am I going to do now? Let me just kind of say this. Here, we're going to take y as what? Constant. Now, remember that anytime we're doing dy all over dx, let's say for a number like maybe 5, this is going to give you 0, right? Because you can't differentiate a constant. Okay, so that's it. So in this case now, we're going to keep y as a constant and then differentiate x. So that's going to give us let's just call this what am I going to call? Let me just say df all over dx, because our differentiating with respect to x is now 2x, and then if I try to get the partial derivative with respect to y, so I'm going to take x as a what? Constant, and then of course I'm going to get the f of dy, which is going to be if you look at that function, that's going to be 2y, because we have y squared. Okay, if I'm right. So what this means now is that what we are saying is that if I'm trying to check the gradient now, here, for the gradient now, it's going to be what? We're going to use delta f, which is actually very important. That's x, y, and then that's going to give us a vector, just like we said. Yeah, the result for this is going to be something like a vector. So we're going to have 2x, 2y. Okay, so that is it. So this is what we call the gradient. Okay, all right, so that's actually that. So if we want to get what we just need to say is that okay, the vector, what the vector is trying to tell us now is that it tells us the direction of the steepest increase of the function, right? So that's why if we want to get, okay, maybe we want to differentiate, probably, let's say for example, we want to now get, okay, let's get when x is 2 and y is maybe 3. So what is going to be now is going to be 2 of 2 and 2 of 3, and that's going to give us C4, and this is going to be 6.